be this first one here, this diagonal, and then up the line. So we'll do this first one, up the outside, this single diagonal, up the outside, and then jump this diagonal line. What's that? That's the 6. Now again, they jump 2'3", and they're verticals, as you can see on the track. And I did a little different variation because of my ring. The way the jumps are set up, so I have a little different variation. But we stick to the variation that's in the book. Whoa! And it's going to happen on exams. How does the rider deal with it? I'm not going to say a thing. But that was just the warm-up fence. We're not doing the course yet. That's just a warm-up. Good. Now come up the diagonal over this single fence right here for a second. This blue and white one. And now walk. And again, you expect to see the change of that lead behind. Good, now walk. All right, I'm going to see you jump the course. Let's just start, just walk. We'll start the course again. And we're going to jump the course. So, I'd say she handled the refusal quite well. That's not going to penalize her. All right, horses stop every day. Some are good teachers, and they tell you what they like and what they don't like. And that one didn't like the balance. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. And now walk. All right. Now, as you can see, when we did the actual track, we just shortened it up a little bit. We're not going to do all of it today. But you got a good chance to see what a 5 looks like. That's a really solid 5, jumping. That's pretty solid. And went to the first fence, kept the rhythm, held the position, went up the line, did an even 5 up the line. We didn't see that 4 long and 1 short. We didn't see that at all. All right, if I'm seeing that 4 long and 1 short, that's an issue. And we had a lead change up there, that's a bonus. transition is perfectly fine, acceptable. A good rate, did the horse good to this one, and went up the last line. I'm going to ask her, I'm going to pull her in and ask her how her actual course, how she felt it went. Went up the last line, got a little snug on, you know, a little go-y there, got a little snug in at the second element, you know, what you would have done a little differently. Okay, tell me, come on over here and tell me how your course went. Let's just start out first with that warm-up course, warm-up fence of yours, and you had to stop. What happened there? You didn't have enough leg. Could you just come up here a little closer so they can hear you, please? Okay, so how was the actual, okay, so that was the first fence. She said she didn't have enough leg on, period. And the reason why you didn't have enough leg on, what was the reason for that?
Her running at them.
Oh, she was running at them and you took the leg off.
I'm used to her running at them, so I didn't have as much leg as I should.
She didn't run at it. And she didn't have enough leg, as she's used to having. So then the mare questioned the equation you gave her. Okay. So then what happened so how was the rides to the other warm-ups?
They were good, they were better. I had leg on and she wasn't running at them.
Okay. All right. So when you started the course, how did your course do? Tell me how your course did.
My course went pretty good. I only had one weird spot, I find. I had even strides in most of the lines. That one, she was running at the end.
And how could you have changed that?
I should have just, like, closed my fingers more and made her wait for it.
Okay.
And sat up.
Okay.
To, like, to lean forward in the lines.
Okay. So you needed to wait yourself. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Could you just go over there and could you just ride the diagonal, the single diagonal, go up that outside line and see if you can make that correction over there and then come jump this diagonal line for me. Because you were supposed to jump the diagonal line, which you did not. You stopped early. Okay, so just give me we're going to start from the single here. We're coming up the outside line and we're going down the diagonal line. She stopped a little early. But that's all right. You got the gist of what a 5 looks like at this point.
If she goes off course during testing.
Yeah, you just retest her, that's it. You know, it's not a big deal. They either got it or they don't. Let's face the fact. They either have it or they don't at this level. And I mean, there's no oxers, so they're just riding up the lines, getting comfortable with the lines. Now she needs to count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty well. That's pretty good. Pretty smooth. Now your diagonal line. You know, that's there. That's there in the 5. That's a solid 5. You can't falter for that. Okay? And you know, if they go off course, just come back and revisit the course again. It's not a big issue. Everybody forgets. You get nervous. You forget. I mean, you got to train your mind so that you're really honed in on things. And that's training. That's training. And no, but that's a solid position, solid release, beautiful approaches. You know, the horse jumped up good. She closed the hip angle. That's a 5. Okay? Now we're going to a 6. Let's see what the 6 looks like. Good. Any questions on what we've seen?